right, we're going to do something today, and I did a large set of these years ago, and people really liked them, but I want to show you how to do a miniature set, and then put them in a little box, a little keepsake box and stuff. As we continue with our miniatures, these are not difficult projects at all. In fact, they're simple projects, but one of the most beloved books ever written, and still is in a lot of ways, is the, let me bring this up just a little bit, To Kill a Mockingbird. And when I was in a production of To Kill a Mockingbird, I played the sheriff. I've done a little theater, but they wanted some soap dolls for the scenes what the kids had, because in the original story, Boo Radley, he puts these dolls and little treasures in a tree trunk or in a tree knot or something like that, and the kids find them and he collects them, and so they find them in this little box, and two of those were two little soap dolls. So they didn't have the soap dolls, and they asked me, could I carve some soap dolls made out of soap? And I said, well, yeah, but that's just too brittle, and they'll be broken, and next thing you know, we'll be doing them over and over again. So I said, well, why don't I carve them out of wood and then just paint them white? And they said, well, that'd be fine. So I did. I made two large soap dolls for the production. Well, those soap dolls were very popular. In fact, we made a drawing at the end. They all put their name in a hat to see who could get the soap dolls for, they loved them. And if you love the story, then, now, this is let me try to show this to you. This is the original soap dolls that came from the movie. The movie is also a very beloved movie. It's a play and all that stuff. And they're really, really simple to do. They're not difficult to do. The little girl, now I might put the hands on the little girl where they didn't have hands on it here in such a way. But they're really relatively simple to do, but they're treasures for people. And I'm going to show you how we get a little box from Hobby Lobby and put both of the little pieces into the box, and then decorate the outside of the box a little bit to give to a child, to give to someone, I tell you what, I made a bunch of the miniatures, and I put them in the boxes, and I couldn't get rid of them. People they wanted them so bad because this is such a beloved story. And I'm going to show you how to carve these pieces to give to, a lot of people today. No matter what, To Kill a Mockingbird is still one of the most beloved books ever. But anyway, I want to show you. I'm going to get my little knife, my little small knife, my little 1-inch knife, and we're going to carve the male first, the little man. And he's not real difficult to do. Let me go ahead and separate the head here. Now this pattern, as you see, is a pattern that I use a lot to do most of my figures with, but you just turn the figures into whatever you want them. So we're going to separate the head here. Now I carved, I don't know how many sets of these miniature ones, and people just wanted them bad because they were, I'm just going to shape the head a little bit because people wanted them. Let me come a little bit this way. I have to sometimes and you just kind of shape the head, around the head up a little bit. And these are just, like I said, I could have sold, I don't know how many of these. I didn't sell them, I just gave them away. But I mean, people were wanting them like crazy because they're, like I said, most people, especially people who read or have read, I know when I was a young man, To Kill a Mockingbird was a story that was, it was what, you know, where you have to read it. What was that? I don't know what they call it in school, where you had to read the book and do book reports on it and stuff. And To Kill a Mockingbird was one of them. Remember the other one was, what was it called? It was the guy. It was about the boys out on the island. Oh crud! What was that book? Real famous book about the boys that got stranded on the island. They turned on one another and stuff. Oh crud! Oh, golly. I can see that. I can see it now. I just can't think of the book. I'll think of it. Here in a minute. My mind works like that. In other words, but the boys on the island, they became like a gang and all that other stuff. In other words, Heart of Darkness. Maybe that's it. Heart of Darkness or something. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's it. The Heart of Darkness. I don't know, but it was remedial. It was reading. You had to read them for all students. So all we're going to do now is just get this face kind of rounded off a little bit. Now let me get my. Now the hands. By the way, this is 2 inches by 3/4. So. Now the hands are just basically by his side like this. Just basically by his side. So let's go ahead and cut. I'm going to cut this right here. And cut this here. And cut this here. It's not really a matter of putting, and they were very crude dolls, as we might say, that Boo Radley put into the tree for the kids. And Jim, I think was his name, collected them, and they had watches and old stuff. And of course, as we know, Boo Radley saved the kids at the very end. Just kind of go like that. He saved the kids from being killed by the bad guy, as we might say. He was a guy that hated Atticus Finch. Atticus Finch was probably one of the most beloved characters himself. Just cut that like that. And in fact, my granddaughter is named, her middle name is Scout, and was named after there was a lot of people named their children after the Scout, after the little girl in the movie. But this will be the smaller version of it. And let's come up here like this. Really, there's not any, what you would say, clothes on him. Like I said, they were very crude little dolls that Boo Radley carved for them. But like I said, it's one of the most beloved. We'll go ahead and take this all down here. Come up here. And it was a movie that dealt with a lot of racial issues in the 50s. I think it was during that time. In fact, I think it's I maybe still be going on Broadway right now, To Kill a Mockingbird. But okay, his hands are going to be like that, okay? And be at his side. Cut this down just a little bit. There we go. More like that. So we kind of appear like that. Come back here, here, and just sort of cut back on those cut down on this in just a little bit more. And like I said, most people realize and remember the Beloved Book, and it is. Then we're going to go down to the shoes. We're just going to make a cut in here, make a cut in here, and make a cut in there. Okay, and a cut there. And come in between these legs a little bit. And come up a little bit higher on that, where it becomes more like this. Sort of that way. And continue. Taking some off. It was required reading. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I think it's either Heart of Darkness or something. Was that book about the boys on the island that require reading. Okay, see how the hands are just basically at the side here? Now I'm going to have to come up. This one's got to come up a little bit on this one. There we go. About even in that sense, in other words. But Boo Radley, of course, was one of the main figures. You didn't actually know who Boo Radley or see him until the end of the movie, played by Robert Duvall. But he was basically a retarded. People don't like me to use the word retarded. I apologize. Mentally challenged, may we say, young man. And he saved the kids' lives at the end. So we're just going around. Basically, like I said, the figure is just very. These little 2-inch figures they're a lot of fun, and they are very unique. Okay. And what we did, like I said, I made them out of wood, and we painted them completely white, and they were perfect. They were perfect size. They were perfect. I was able to carve them the size that I needed, and they were perfect for the show. The people just loved them. Oh, how many people? I said they all wanted the soap dolls at the end of the play, and I couldn't carve soap dolls for everybody because it's a pretty large cast, so we had a drawing. And the little girl who played Scout, she won them, so she got to keep them. And she was just pleased as punch, as we say. But I thought about this with the little miniature ones. If you carve the little miniature ones, and then you put them in a little box, and kind of decorate the box with the To Kill a Mockingbird thing, and then you give it to someone. This is just a very unique little gift that you could give anyone. Now let's go ahead and come in here and just cut back on this arm just a little bit. There we go. Where it's sort of like that. Okay. And do the same here. Cut back. Okay, and then we want to just sort of just sort of cut the hand. Yeah, just like that. Very simple, not extravagant type detail, because they were very simple pieces. And you want to try to make the pieces like they were in the actual movie. In fact, they were very dirty. I remember the pieces were very kind of dirty because they were, he had carved them out of real soap, and soap gets dirty if you mess with it too much. But they were very crude, but so unique to the story. Kids were just thrilled to be able to get them. Okay, see that? Let me come down here like this. Okay, now let's go up to the head here. And now basically the face and everything is pretty simple. It's not extravagant as it should be for the little piece, in other words, okay? It's like that. Let me bring these. There we go. Just like that. Okay. We would not have. This is going to have to go back further. All right, there we go. Let's take a little bit more off in the back so we can get this the way we want it. I said it's very... Alright, here we go. See that? Alright, on the face, let me look at it for a second. Let me... Alright. Basically, the hair comes like this and then comes forward and then comes down like this. Actually comes forward, and then there's a part right in here. So let's go ahead and let's cut that up across here and come in forward like that. Okay, and then let's remove the wood from this section here. Okay, so like that. And then let's bring that face down. So like that. And let's start bringing the face down. Like I said, it's not a so you see how the face is, and then we just sort of start bringing the face down to an egg shape. All right, and then, all right, let me see. Now let's continue. Now this is a very